Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. Multiple reports say the U.S. is currently carrying out new strikes on Iran. Let's give you the latest on this again. Multiple reports say that the U.S. is carrying out new strikes on Iran after reportedly a cargo ship was attacked earlier, I believe it was earlier today, in the Strait of Hormuz. So let's see here what we can find for you. Mehr News, which is Iranian state media reports. Let me get this on the screen for you. This is from Iranian state media. They're quoting Irib News. Well, hold on a second here. Projectile hits telecommunications tower in Sirik, explosions in Keshem and Bandar Lenge. According to news received by Mehr News reporter, the sound of an explosion in this area was caused by a projectile hitting a telecommunications tower near the port of Tahririyeh. Also, according to eyewitness reports, the sound of an explosion was heard in the village of Masan on Keshem Island. Local reports from Bandar Lenge County also indicate several explosions were heard in the cities of Bandar Lege and Bandar Kong. This incident occurred while yesterday CENTCOM announced an attack on positions in the city of Sirik, calling it a response to an attack on a commercial ship. As of the time of writing, no official statement has been issued by the country's military and law enforcement agencies regarding the full details of these attacks and possible damage at the three mentioned locations. So several locations being attacked reportedly. Yesterday, the U.S. struck Iran after they said Iran attacked a cargo ship. Then there was in the Strait of Hormuz. Then there was another ship in the Strait of Hormuz after that reported attacked. So possibly sounds like this is a similar thing going on. The U.S. retaliating after another ship apparently was attacked. That was hours and hours ago when the other ship was attacked. Now give me a moment here. Let me pull up something here. Oh, I think CENTCOM has announced this now. Yes, CENTCOM has announced it. Here you go. Sorry, I was getting on the air and didn't see this. U.S. forces conduct additional strikes after Iran's latest commercial ship attack. So, U.S. conducts strikes on Iran in retaliation for Iran attack on tanker. Okay, here's what the U.S. says. U.S. forces conduct additional strikes after Iran's latest commercial ship attack. U.S. Central Command forces conducted additional strikes. This is the same thing happened yesterday, basically. Similar. Against multiple targets in Iran today at the Commander-in-Chief's direction. After yesterday's U.S. strikes in response to the Iranian attack on the ship MV Ever Lovely, Iran was given a chance to honor the ceasefire agreement, but elected not to when its forces launched a one-way attack drone that hit the ship MT Kiku this morning at 4:30 a.m. The Panama flag tanker was transiting near the Strait of Hormuz with more than 2 million barrels of crude oil. CENTCOM forces launched strikes today in direct response to continued Iranian aggression against commercial shipping. U.S. military aircraft targeted Iranian military surveillance infrastructure, communication systems, air defense sites, drone storage facilities, and mine layer capabilities. Commercial vessel transits through the Strait of Hormuz continue. U.S. forces remain vigilant, lethal, and ready. Now, yesterday, after the U.S. launched strikes on Iran yesterday, Iran said that it had attacked some U.S. Deployment locations in the area. And it wasn't clear what they meant by that, but Bahrain did announce earlier today that Iranian drones had attacked Bahrain at dawn today, which may have been part of that Iranian retaliation for the attacks by the U.S. yesterday. So I would not be surprised if we hear Iran saying that it has launched some sort of retaliation against the U.S. again. All right, so let's get you some more updates here. But again, the second straight day we have Iran apparently, although not admittedly, but apparently Iran attacking a cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. launching strikes on Iran. Mark Saint, our viewer, says everything will be fine by market open tomorrow. All right, what I need to do is let me check a couple of things here, and we'll take some comments on the year too, but let me check a couple things real quick. And I just need to post this so you can see it while I'm checking a couple things. We'll have some updates about the earthquake aftermath as well. But for the moment, I want to focus on this. I just need to find, where is that? Okay. I'm putting this on the screen so you can see it. Now let's see what we hear about any kind of retaliation. I'm also interested in seeing, does Iran just attack another ship in the Gulf and in the Strait of Hormuz? Fars News, which is Iranian state media, says the terrorist organization CENTCOM announced in a statement that it had attacked several targets in Iran on Trump's orders. Here's a report from about what some of the explosions sounded like. Hold on, I was going to show you this. Or where these explosions were. I believe they were adjacent to the Strait of Hormuz. The coasts of Sirik and Keshem. So that would be Strait of Hormuz adjacent. I'll show you on a map shortly, but let me just display this for you. This is from Fars State Media. So there were explosion sounds in the Sirik region and in Keshem, several explosions heard. But let me pull a map up so I can show you this. Just give me 2 seconds here. Oops, now no, I see what happened, sorry. Let me do this quickly. Okay, better. So we have our map up here from Google Maps, and we heard about explosions in the Keshem area. So there's the Strait of Hormuz. Sirik is here. right next to the Strait of Hormuz. So we heard about explosions in Sirik. We heard about explosions heard in Keshem. Keshem Island is here next to the Strait of Hormuz. So what's going to happen with, hang on a second here. What is going to happen with, hang on a second. First of all, is Iran going to retaliate? Second of all, is Iran just going to attack another ship in the Strait of Hormuz, as has apparently happened each of the last 2 days? Now, yesterday, Iran had said in Iranian state media, they had said that, hang on. They said, in the event of repeated aggression, our response will be more extensive than this. That's what they said yesterday, Iran, after they announced that they had attacked. They said yesterday, I'll show you here what Iran said yesterday. Yesterday, after the U.S. attacked Iran, saying that Iran had attacked a different ship in the commercial ship in the Strait of Hormuz. And apparently, Iran is attacking these ships because these ships are not coordinating their passage through the Strait of Hormuz with Iran. Iran hasn't directly taken responsibility for these ships being attacked, but they have said that repeatedly recently that ships need to coordinate their movement through them. So it looks like Iran is attacking ships that are going through the Strait of Hormuz that are not coordinating with Iran and doing it the way Iran wants them to, whatever that involves. So you can see yesterday Iran said that after the U.S. attacked them yesterday, citing a ship violating an unauthorized route on the Strait of Hormuz. So you can see yesterday they said, well, there was the U.S. claimed that we attacked a ship, and they say that ship was violating an unauthorized route on the Strait of Hormuz. They said in response they struck U.S. terrorist armies' deployment points in the region, the IRGC Navy, and then they said down here, in the event of repeated aggression, our response will be more extensive than this. Well, this seems like repeated aggression. This is the same thing basically happening again. So I do wonder how Iran is going to respond to this basically similar thing that happened, although it looks like yesterday it was reported, I think there was maybe one place targeted. It seems like maybe there were roughly 3 different areas targeted tonight. So maybe a more extensive strike tonight than last night by the U.S. I'm not positive. But remember also that the Strait of Hormuz is supposed to be, part of this, one of the big parts of this memorandum of understanding is that the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open to traffic. Well, in the last 2 days, it certainly looks like Iran has attacked 2 different tankers going through the Strait of Hormuz. Hang on a second. I have to fix this. This is what I have to fix. Why is this all messed up? Why is this all messed up? Hang on. Need to do something quickly here. Need to do something. Let me switch something here. I got to switch something on my screen. Please bear with me. Let me pull up what I need to pull up here. Okay, now. So I'm trying to get you news now of what's going on with hold on, with Iran, possible retaliation. Oh, now strangely, this just was posted. I don't know if there's more. I mean, the U.S. announced that it was carrying out additional, it says conduct additional strikes. That would suggest the strikes are over. It says conducted. But Iranian state media IRIB, they posted this like a minute ago. They said some sources report hearing several explosions in Bandar Lega and Bandar Khan. But I don't know if they mean now or like a half an hour ago. IRIB has not been able to yet definitively confirm these explosions. If confirmation is received, further news will be announced subsequently. So I don't really know what to make of that. Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? I spelled something wrong. In my rush to get on, something is wrong on the screen. Oh, retaliation. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm rushing here to just type stuff in and get on the air, I mess stuff up. There we go. Thank you for letting me know. Now, hang on. So, as I was just mentioning to you, that, oh, what do I have to do here? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to show you on a map where we're talking about. Bandar Lenge in Bandar Kong. I think Bandar Arp is port. Lenge and Kong. So here's the map. Let me get rid of this. Here's a Google map. And again, some explosions were heard possibly in Bandar Lenge and Bandar Kong. Oh, I know what I have to do here too. I have to move this down a little bit here. That's better. Bandar Kong. So Bandar Kong is there. That's near Keshem Island, okay? So that'd be another location near the Strait of Hormuz. And how about Lenge, Iran? Bandar Lenge. That's near Bandar Kong. So all these targets or possible targets we're hearing about tonight are right near the strait, right next to the Strait of Hormuz, basically. Really quick, as we bring you the latest updates here, I want to thank a couple people. And again, I'm really interested in seeing, are we going to hear about some Iranian retaliation anytime soon for this? So, thanks really quick. Thanks to our moderators. We have moderating right now Haley Girl, Ruth, Danny James, Bite Mode over there on YouTube. Thanks so much. Also, we have moderating. Sorry. Just getting everything organized here. Sorry. Just getting everything organized here. What am I hearing? Linda, oh, I see. Sorry. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha on X, Big Ball of Yarn, LB Prairie on Sarah and Surly Dev over there on Twitch, and K Lowry Body on Facebook. Thank you for moderating. Also, thanks so much to 86 GOP Forever gave 50 memberships. Wow. That's so generous of you. 86, that is incredibly nice of you, 86. Please thank 86 or somebody else if they gave you a gift membership. Very generous. Also, it's more fun to compute. Thank you. I'll check the oil prices in a second. Good idea. Jerry Kovacs, thank you. Jen Haneke, our member, and Lar45NJ, our member, who says, why is the U.S. continually playing games with them? Thanks, Gamil Eliyahu, who says, from the Iranian side, the whole purpose of the MOU was to show that this Trump regime and their allies cannot be trusted. They will not honor an agreement. This was simply to expose this to the world. That's what Gamliel says. Thanks, Zero Don, as well. Oil prices real quick, just to show you here. Let me pull it up here. Where is it? Oh, I'm sorry, the oil market is closed, right? Because it's Saturday. It's Saturday. The oil market's closed till tomorrow at 6 Eastern time. So I do not have updated oil prices for you. For what it's worth, I don't really know if this is related, but what you can see here is that Bitcoin, this is from TradingView, Bitcoin, well, when did this news come out? In the last half hour or so? About an hour ago, Bitcoin was at like 6386. It's down like $400 over the last hour. I don't know if that's related to this. It could be, it could not be. I don't know. Okay, now hold on. Let's see if we can get you some more updates about this new U.S. strikes on Iran for a second straight day. For a second straight day. After apparently Iran has attacked two different tankers. Well, a tanker and a cargo ship, it was. One oil tanker and one cargo ship. On two of them, one attacked 2 days ago. If I have this right, it was 1 or 2 days ago, a cargo ship was attacked, apparently by Iran, in the Strait of Hormuz. And then I think it was earlier today, a full oil tanker was attacked. Although I'm not aware of any kind of oil leaking out yet. All right, hang on a moment here. I think we're going to get at least some kind of statement from Iran. Again, CENTCOM says the U.S. forces conduct additional strikes after Iran's latest commercial ship attack. U.S. Central Command forces conducted additional strikes against multiple targets in Iran June 27th at the commander-in-chief's direction. I think the reports of explosions were coming in about just about 45 minutes ago, this happened. After yesterday's U.S. strikes in response to the Iranian attack on MV Everlovely, which is a cargo ship, Iran was given a chance to honor the ceasefire agreement, but elected not to when its forces launched a one-way attack drone that hit the tanker MT Kiku this morning at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The Panama-flagged tanker was transiting near the Strait of Hormuz with more than 2 million barrels of crude oil. CENTCOM forces launched strikes today in direct response to continued Iranian aggression against commercial shipping. U.S. military aircraft targeted Iranian military surveillance infrastructure, communication systems, air defense sites, drone storage facilities, and mine layer capabilities. Commercial vessel transits through the Strait of Hormuz continue. U.S. forces remain vigilant, lethal, and ready. Now, let me check a couple things here for updates. Oh, hold on a moment. Oh, breaking update from Jennifer Griffin. Jennifer Griffin of Fox News reports that the U.S. strikes are complete. She says that in addition to the U.S., to Iran attacking this commercial ship, she says 9 one-way attack drones were fired by Iran at a U.S. base in Bahrain last night. Now, I think that's probably what Bahrain was talking about earlier today when they said Iran had fired drones at Bahrain at dawn. And I believe that was part or all of the Iran's retaliation for the U.S. strikes yesterday. But Jennifer Griffin of Fox says that Iran overnight fired 9 one-way attack drones at a U.S. base in Bahrain. Oh, update from Jennifer Griffin. Another news update from Fox's Jennifer Griffin. You ready? She says, Jennifer Griffin of Fox News says, I asked a senior defense official why the U.S. has had to go back and restrike these sites that have been hit multiple times since February 28th when the war began. I was told that Iran has reconstituted its air defense and missile systems along the Strait of Hormuz since the U.S. bombing campaign ended on April 7th. That, the source said, is why the U.S. military is now having to restrike areas like Keshem Island and Sirik, which they had already struck in the past. A senior U.S. defense official told Jennifer Griffin, in the time since the ceasefire on 7th of April, Iran has reconstituted thus the targets around the Strait of Hormuz. He says there's a lot that is damaged, a lot, but they move things around. Wow. What is Iran going to do now? Are we going to hear about Iranian retaliation? Also, I would not be surprised if we hear about Iran attacking another ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Give me one moment here. We'll take some of your comments on the air. Hold on. So let me just show you what was reposted by the UKMTO about this. The latest. This was earlier today, about 12 hours ago. About 12 hours ago, UKMTO posted this. Oops, sorry. So this was about 12 hours ago. They said UKMTO has received a report of an incident within the Strait of Hormuz. The master of tanker reported being struck by an unidentified projectile. The vessel sustained damage to their bridge. All crew are reported safe. No environmental damage reported at present. Vessels are advised to transit with caution and report any suspicious activity to UKMTO. Authorities are investigating. Now, I will say that you can see here it does look like possibly, just like the first ship that was attacked a couple days ago, this ship might have been taking the route closer to Oman, which is that's not the route that Iran wants the ships to take when they go through. They want the ships to coordinate with them and take a route that's closer to the Iran side. Let me see if I can pull up here for you on the screen something about the ship that was attacked. All right, here's marine traffic. Let me do something real quick here. See if I can get the clock up on the screen. Can I get the clock up? For you on the screen here. Oh my gosh. Stop. Why is it all messed up again? Why? Just getting the clock on the screen for you. I think I got it. Okay. Clock coming up now. I hope. Why does it say that? Strait of Hormuz via marinetraffic.com. Oh my God. Okay, there, finally. I don't think that clock is right. No, it's not. It should be an hour and a half different than it is. That's better. So if we look up the Kiku, the ship the Kiku, what's going on with this? I'm going to have to redo this in a second. Anyways, for now, Kiku, which is the oil tanker. All right, that's the Kiku oil tanker under the flag of Panama. That's the ship that got attacked earlier today. And if we go, can we get the past track here? Yeah, so, well, it looks like it turned off its tracking, right? Because that would have been, that time is roughly 11:30 Eastern time. About 4.5 hours after that. So it looks like it turned off its tracking. because this incident was reported when the ship was around here. And it was reported about 4.5 hours after the last trek. So now I don't know, just like the ship that was attacked a couple days ago, the cargo ship, I don't know if these are ships that the U.S. is actively escorting or trying to protect when they go through, or if they're just kind of going through or trying to go through without Iranian. But these are apparently two different ships that tried to go through without coordinating with Iran, and Iran has attacked both of them in the last 2 days. Yeah, so Miss Esther Bunny says, so is the Strait open or no? Well, if by open you mean anyone can just go through, like before the war, the answer would appear to be no. I'm trying to fix the coloring here. Why is this so hard to do? Yeah, so it certainly doesn't seem like it's open. Now, hold on a moment here. And that's Marine Traffic, the ship tracking and marine analytics provider. Oh, I owe a big thank you to Louis R. Guys, Louis R. gave 50 people memberships. Like 86 before gave 50 people memberships. Louis R. gave 50 people memberships in the YouTube chat. That is so nice of you, Louis R. Thank you so much for all your generous support. That's incredible. Make sure you thank somebody, like if they give you a gift membership or a gift subscription. Thank you, Louis R. Also, thanks to Patty B. Good, who says, we have two nations at war with two insane leaders. Thanks IndyCar and Dim Sim for being members. Thank you, Sunshine Ledger, for your support, who thinks it's time to take Karg Island. All right, give me a quick moment. Thanks also to Sedated Psycho for subscribing. Do we have updates here? Let's see. What are we hearing? What are we hearing? Update from Iran State Media. Update from Iranian State Media. Iranian State Media, ISNA, says, details of tonight's operation by the Revolutionary Guard Navy fighters against the American aggressors will be officially released in a few hours. Oh my God. So I guess they're saying they did or are going to do something. Maybe they fired some more drones or something. I don't know. What is happening with this? Why is this all messed up? So this is Iranian State Media, ISNA. Oh, this is Iran. I mean, they have ties to the Iranian government. This is ISNA. Well, but it looks like it looks like on Iranian TV. That's this is ISNA reporting it, but it looks like it's a broadcast from Iranian TV. ISNA Iran is Iranian Student News Agency. They do receive. They are financially supported in part by the Iranian government, by the way, according to Wikipedia. Anyways, again, so they say details of tonight's operation by IRGC Navy fighters against the American aggressors will be officially released in a few hours. Now, I assume they're not talking about what happened last night when reportedly a number of drones were fired by Iran at a U.S. base in Bahrain. I think this might mean that in a few hours they'll talk about what they did in response to the U.S. strikes tonight. Death on Two Legs says Iran spokesman makes Baghdad Bob believable. JC says they will release it when Grok is finishing generating it. Well, Bahrain said that they did fire missile drones at Bahrain early this morning. Michael Hughes says, is Iran being bad again? Attacking ships, bad boys. Like closed means no trespassing, we'll shoot you. Spiritus Infinitus says, enough chances, let's hope this is the end game playing out. Bob Swagger says, Trump's weak failed deal. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Oops. I'm going to put the Strait of Hormuz up on the screen for you. Why am I not seeing anything? What did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong? Map. There it is. I got it back. Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay, sorry. Oh, now my clock is screwed up again. Look at this. Everything's messed up. Just trying to get you. Okay. So, Press TV, which is Iran state media, says that IRIB, oh, I can see it right here. IRIB 5 minutes ago. So they said about an hour and a half ago, 4 projectiles hit the Bandar Lenge area. And the sound of these explosions was heard in Bandar Lenge and Bandar Kong. So Bandar Lenge apparently was one of the places targeted by the U.S., and that's here. See, it says Bandar Lenge. How do I shut this thing off? Give me a moment here. Oh, I see. So that's the strait, and there's Bandar Lenge. So we've heard about the U.S. strikes on tonight on Bandar Lenge, on possibly on Bandar Kong, which is near the area here somewhere. We looked it up before. There's Kong is next to Lenge, Bandar Kong, and we heard about Keshem, and we heard about Sirik. Oh, hold on a second here. What am I seeing now? What am I seeing now? I don't know where that is. Oh, hey guys, look! Breaking news from Tasnim. News update from Tasnim State Media. They say, according to Iranian State Media, vessels intended to pass through illegal and unsafe routes in the Strait of Hormuz, which the Navy confronted. Yeah. Oh, everything's falling apart. Everything's falling apart. There we go. So there's, again, Iran has said that everything going through the Strait of Hormuz needs to be approved by Iran. And they say ships cannot go through there and not do it the way Iran wants them to, which I don't know if that involves, who knows if Iran is still charging ships to like some kind of toll or fee. But again, Iranian state media reports vessels intended to pass through illegal and unsafe routes in the southern Strait of Hormuz. That's the side farther away from the Iranian coast, the southern route, which the IRGC Navy confronted. By the way, Iowa, thanks again to 86 GOP Forever, gave 50 more memberships. Oh my gosh, 86. That is so generous of you. So many new members. That's really nice of you, 86. Thank you so much. Please thank 86 if you got a membership from 86. Also, thanks to Rita R64. Thank you so much. Patty Be Good. Thank you. I mean, this doesn't look like an open Strait of Hormuz, right? Okay, so hang on, take some more comments here. Where did this go? What is happening? What did I do? Oh, sorry. Darth Tater says maybe Trump does not understand the meaning of the word destroyed that he keeps using. Jerry Kovacs says just pure insanity. Thanks, Horvath Rubin, who mentioned Hawaii volcano eruption. Yeah, the USGS says episode 50 of lava fountaining in Halamaumau eruption at the summit of Kilauea began at around 10:10 a.m. HST on June 27th. Most lava fountaining episodes since December 23, 2024 have continued for a day or less. So that's kind of a common occurrence recently there. And they say all eruptive vents and lava flows are confined to the crater, the Halamaumau crater within Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Okay. Now, did President Trump post anything about this? Let me check here. Where's this thing? Can't I find it? Hang on. Now I can't find this. Oh, I see here. What an annoying thing this is. Nothing from President Trump yet about on True Social about this latest attack. By the way, here is what Bahrain said about the U.S. about Iran firing missile drones at Bahrain early this morning, which Jennifer Griffin of Fox said that Iran fired 9 attack drones at a U.S. base in Bahrain. You can see here it says, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs condemns in the strongest terms the brutal Iranian attacks on the territory of the Kingdom of Bahrain by a number of drones. This was earlier today. They say the Bahrain Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed the Kingdom of Bahrain's strongest condemnation of the targeting of its territory at dawn today, Saturday, June 27th, by a number of Iranian drones in a blatant violation of its sovereignty, a flagrant threat to the security of citizens and residents, and a blatant breach of the international norms and conventions that prohibit targeting civilian objects and terrorizing innocent people. While the ministry condemns this heinous aggression, it affirms that the Iranian regime's continued attacks at a time when regional and international efforts are moving towards de-escalation place the sole responsibility on Tehran for undermining peace efforts and reveals an approach based on destabilizing security, exporting chaos, and undermining regional stability. All right, there's a little more to that, but I just wanted to show you that. Update. We have an update here. News update. Iran's Mer News is reporting what a different Iranian news outlet was saying. Look at the bottom here. Details of tonight's operation by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy fighters against the American aggressors will be officially published. Oh, this says shortly. Shortly. Not in the next few hours. This one says shortly. Oh. So coming up soon. They're going to say something like, we fired drones at U.S. targets or something, I think. Iran State Media Mayor. Details of tonight's operation by IRGC Navy fighters against the American aggressors will be officially published shortly. We'll be watching for that. Better stay tuned, says Michelle Batten. Also, they said if you look above that, it says that they're calling the strikes tonight by the U.S. a U.S. reinvasion of Iran and violation of the ceasefire by Washington. So it sounds like Iran has taken some sort of action that they're going to announce shortly. That's what it sounds like. Hey, thanks so much to Elizabeth, the Mystical Buddha Cake Shop. That's very nice of you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Also, thanks to Jane Jones for 20 gift memberships. That is so nice of you, Jane Jones. Thank you. Please thank Jane if she gave you a gift membership. Also, thanks for 5 gift memberships. Red Light Meat and Pizza. Red Light Meat and Pizza. 6 gift memberships. Thank you, Red Light Meat and Pizza. That's very nice of you. Also, our members, Bad Banner, KMFJ11. And also J. Carlos 74 from Portugal. And thanks for shouting out the mods, J. Carlos. So we're waiting to hear from Iran what they have done in response. That's what we're waiting for. How is it that this is not... Oh, I see what's happening here, I think. I finally figured out how to get the clock color fixed. I was like, why is it misbehaving? I am also seeing, just to keep you posted here on this, not that this is so uncommon, an air raid alert has been announced in Kyiv. Air raid alert in Kyiv, Ukraine. So it looks like, well, this is not infrequent, but that was about 4 minutes ago. Air raid siren in Kyiv. That's according to Kyiv City Administration. That's Ukraine. The, where is it here? So reports of missiles being launched by Russia at Kyiv. We'll keep you updated on that. We haven't had time to talk about the earthquakes yet, but we will. And Iran says it'll soon announce the action of Iran's Revolutionary Guard says it'll soon announce the action of its navy. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. You can see Reuters says, U.S. carries out fresh strikes against Iran after tanker struck in Hormuz, escalating hostilities. This is not the headline from yesterday. It's the headline from right now. The U.S. military said it struck Iran again, hours after a tanker was hit in the Strait of Hormuz, in the worst escalation since the two sides signed an interim peace deal 2 weeks ago. Each of the warring sides has accused the other of violating the agreement reached 2 weeks ago to end the 4-month-old conflict. U.S. Central Command said its forces carried out fresh strikes after a Panama-flagged oil tanker with 2 million barrels of oil on it was attacked by an Iranian drone early on Saturday. In Iran, state broadcaster IRIB reported explosions heard in Sirik. And there's other Iran media said there were, I think, 4 different places where explosions were heard, something like that. Again, as we told you, the U.S. military said Iran was given a chance to honor the ceasefire agreement, but elected not to. It said the strikes were in direct response to continued Iranian aggression against commercial shipping. A U.S. defense official later reported the strikes on Iranian targets was complete for tonight, according to Fox News. Saturday's attack, apparently by Iran, on an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, followed another attack, apparently by Iran, on a cargo ship on Thursday that triggered the latest escalation. Iran has made a fresh bid to assert control over the world's most important energy shipping route, which has begun to reopen after months of disruption. Britain's UKMTO Maritime Security Agency said the tanker hit today had sustained damage to its bridge, with all crew reported safe. The Joint Maritime Information Center, run by a coalition of navies protecting shipping, raised its security threat as a result of recent incidents. Oh, I should mention that too. I'll have to try to pull that up for you. Where is... Here, we'll have to look at that in a second. Iran has not directly commented on reports of specific attacks on ships, but Iranian state television reported that the Revolutionary Guards fired, quote, warning shots towards unspecified vessels attempting to pass through channels not approved by Iran, and that this was now prompting other ships to seek Iranian permits before attempting to cross the strait. Earlier, Iran's Foreign Ministry said it had launched defensive attacks on U.S.-linked military targets, while Bahrain, which hosts the U.S. Navy's regional headquarters, reported an Iranian drone attack. The U.S. military did not immediately respond to those reports. And you can see it says here, Iran asserts control over vital straits, says Reuters. Iran has accused the U.S. of not upholding the interim agreement, in particular by not sustaining a promised ceasefire in Lebanon, which U.S. ally in Israel invaded in March in pursuit of the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. But Iran has also said that it has control over the strait and that any boat going through the strait needs to clear it with Iran. You can see down here at the bottom, it says, Hundreds of ships, including tankers laden with oil, have been blockaded inside the Gulf since war broke out. As they began leaving through the strait over the past 2 weeks, oil prices have tumbled close to pre-war levels on the resulting surge in supply. Washington has been promoting a southern lane along the coast of Oman, while Tehran, which ultimately aims to charge fees for use of the strait, wants ships to use a northern route through its waters and under its control. The head of Iran Parliament's National Security Committee said on Saturday that any violation of Iran's shipping instructions would be met decisively. Oil market is not open right now. It's closed on Saturday. So we're waiting to hear from Iran. They said they're going to announce soon what they did in response to the U.S. tonight, it sounds like. Let me take some more comments from you guys. Wow. Bob Swagger says a tale of two deals. I haven't heard of another ship hit. The last one that was hit, the second in 3 days, that was reported, that happened around 4 a.m. Eastern time or so. But the U.S. had not responded to that until tonight. Sunshine says Trump gave them approval to use the strait. You mean the ships going through? Oh, let me show you something. Here's what I'll show you. Here's what I'll show you. See if I can get this pulled up for you. Okay. No. Hold on. That was a fail. So you can see here the Joint Maritime Information Center, which includes the U.S. and other countries, I believe they're navies. Oh gosh. It's so weird. I asked one of the AIs, I said, can you draw a map for me? Show me a map with these points. And it says it can't do it. Why can't it do that? Why can't it just put it on Google Maps? I don't know. Sometimes it drives me crazy. Anyways, but this is a post from the Joint Maritime Information Center where they give these points and they say mariners are advised that the southern route, they want ships to take the southern route going through the strait, which is on the Oman side, not the Iran side, has been expanded to accommodate simultaneous inbound and outbound traffic. But they say the maritime security threat level in the Strait of Hormuz has increased to substantial. This was posted this morning, following attacks on merchant vessels. Mariners are advised of the existence of mines and should expect naval presence as clearance operations continue. Mariners should also expect congestion through transit routes and VHF hailing from naval forces to support free flow. Let me try a different AI. I mean, that was weird that it wouldn't show me this on a map. Give me a moment here. Our viewer, Steve Haddock, says, why isn't anyone telling Trump we have to finish this? Iran will not listen to reason. Ghost All Day thinks Iran is tired of the games Trump is playing. This is a war. I have not yet seen an update from Iran, from Iranian media. They said they were going to, Iran media said that there were going to be details coming soon of Iran's, it looks like Iran's response to the U.S. attacks tonight. But I haven't heard anything yet. By the way, I believe this account is a legit account. Um, Best I can tell, I've been following it for months. I believe this is the account from the IRGC spokesperson. Or is it the IRGC or the Iranian military? I'm not sure. I have to look this up. I can't 100% be sure, but I've been following it for a while, and I do think it's legit. I think it's IRGC. Oh, I'm seeing something. Well, it's hard. Where is it here? GIS Reports has something that says that the seal of the prophets is the headquarters is the highest node between the army and the Revolutionary Guard. Anyways, something to do with the Iranian military forces. An hour ago, it posted, "You targeted sovereignty, so expect a practical response that will change the equations." And then 7 minutes ago, it says, "He's coming" or "It's coming," meaning do they mean the response is coming? Now, this account often posts really threatening stuff. About an hour ago, "You miscalculated, and our patience has run out. So prepare for a long, endless night. Also, you have crossed our lines, all lines, and our decision is not just talk. The coming hours will speak for our strength. Now, I will say that Iran did say last night, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard said last night that after they responded to the U.S. attacks last night, they said if the U.S. attacks continue, Iran's response will be ramped up, will be more severe." Now, again, this account, from my memory, is a lot of times they post these big threats. So I don't really know what's happening here. But I would not be surprised to see something more than Iran did last night. Johnny says, wonder what they'll do. I mean, maybe they'll fire some missiles. We haven't heard about Iranian missiles being fired in a while. So maybe we'll hear about Iranian missiles being fired. The one and only thinks probably nothing. Hold on a second here. The Wall Street Journal says despite the attack, both Trump and Iran have showed signs of wanting to keep any fighting contained. But things seem to be possibly escalating here. One moment, one moment, one moment. President Trump just posted. Hang on a moment. We have a post from President Trump. A post from President Trump on Truth Social. Here's what President Trump said on Truth Social. Breaking news post by President Trump on Truth Social. Oops, sorry. United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. There may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. That's from President Trump on Truth Social. Lindsay Wessel says 2 weeks. Lee says, I thought they completed the job already. Quidsu says, let's go. HC says, more empty threats. Amy Celeste thinks Trump does not want to play his cards. Margie White says, Trump is angry. El Anna says, blah, blah, come on, just send it. Raisin Kane says, get her done. David N says, by Tuesday, negotiations. Gordo says, does he mean it this time? Only Mattpin says, actions speak louder than words. Again, President Trump just posted, U.S. aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. There may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. Douthis says there may come a point. I wrote this, says your turn, Iran. Casey Cooper says, hopefully that's a promise. Mary Holt says, yup, just 2 more weeks. Obey the Octopus says, back to threatening to annihilate civilizations. Hey, thanks, Jerry Kovacs, for your support. Jerry says, how come the letter W starts with a D? That's what Jerry says. Thanks to Old School Gaming, our member. Thanks to Goodbye HD, our member, who says it's a very kinetic ceasefire. Thanks to Max Vlogs for being a member. Jeff Buddington, thanks for your support. Ronald Kame, thanks for being a member. Bite Mode, thank you so much. And thanks for being a moderator. I'm going to thank the moderators in a second here. Thanks. All right, so let me thank a couple of people here. Hold on. I want to thank our moderators. We have moderating right now. Bite Mode. We have also moderating right now over there on Twitch. Big Ball of Yarn, LB Prairie Dawn, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, and Surly Dev. Big thanks. Linda Belk, Larry, Misha over on X. And we have on Facebook, K. Lowry Body has been modding over there. Thanks to Joanne Gradwall for subscribing. Paul Anderson moderating. Hey, thanks to Lisa Messer for the gift subscriptions. Please thank Lisa if you got a gift sub from Lisa. Hey, thanks Bernard Gonzalez. Bernard says Trump is 100% right. They will never learn. I said from the beginning to just finish the job. That's what Bernard says. Thank you so much, Bernard. Thanks, Mr. H. Mr. H says, stop posting in parking lot Karg Island already. Wow. We're still waiting to hear, we're supposed to hear something soon from Iran about their response to the U.S. strikes tonight. We're waiting, Iran, we're supposedly they're going to respond too. By the way, thanks to Sherry Zylak, who says you can't negotiate with people that do not respect the term sad. Thanks also, Jerry Kovacs. Thank you, Jerry. Now, let me just show you this one more time. So to summarize what happened, let me just summarize this. Okay, so if I remember right, on Thursday, it is believed, the U.S. says this and it's widely believed, although Iran hasn't admitted it directly. It is believed on Thursday that Iran launched a drone that hit a cargo ship that was going through the Strait of Hormuz. In response, the U.S. yesterday launched some strikes on Iranian targets near the Strait of Hormuz. After that, Iran said that they had launched some kind of response at U.S. targets in the region. Bahrain this morning had said that Iran had launched drones at it. So it appears that, and then Jennifer Griffin from Fox News said a U.S. official told her that Iran launched 9 drones at a U.S. base in Bahrain. Okay, anyways, around 4 a.m. Eastern time this morning, another ship, an oil tanker, got attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. said Iran attacked an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz with a drone. So just about, 2 hours ago or so, a couple hours ago, the U.S. launched more strikes on Iranian targets near the Strait of Hormuz. Iran says that it's going to have an update soon. Iranian state media says there's going to be an update soon about the Iranian attack on the... how did they phrase it, Iranian state media? They said soon... Details of tonight's operation by the IRGC Navy fighters against the American aggressors will be officially published shortly. So some kind of response from Iran is expected. Maybe it's already happened. I don't know, and we'll hear about it soon. And we just had President Trump post a threat of sorts on Iran, saying U.S. aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible they will never learn. There may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. President DJT. That's the brief summary of what's going on. Brad thinks Trump is ready for war. Paul S. says, oh no, not again. There's no end for what the IRGC does. All right, what I'm going to do real quick, as we're waiting to hear, we're supposed to hear something from Iran soon about what they're going to do or what they've done in response to the U.S. strikes tonight. So we're waiting for that. We could get that at any moment. Really quick, this is a sponsored broadcast. So here's a quick word from me about our sponsor, Rumble Wallet. And right after that, we'll get you more on the developments in Iran and other news. Quick word from me. If you've ever been curious about buying and investing in crypto, like Bitcoin and stablecoins like USAT, but felt like it was too complicated, Rumble Wallet is an easy way to get started. You can buy, sell, and manage your cryptocurrencies all in one place, and the app is super straightforward. What really makes Rumble Wallet unique is you can use it to tip your favorite creators with crypto, as long as they have Rumble Wallet too. Getting started is simple. Just download the Rumble Wallet app, sign up or use your existing Rumble Wallet account, complete a few security steps, and you're set up in minutes. You can start with just a few dollars, and with MoonPay built into Rumble Wallet, you can easily buy crypto using your credit card, debit card, or bank wire. So if you've been thinking about the advantages of crypto, download Rumble Wallet now by scanning this QR code or by clicking the link in the show description. Rumble Wallet is a technology provider only and not a custodial service. See terms at wallet.rumble.com. All right, I am looking right now to see if we have any update. I am not seeing any updates yet. Now let me show you. I do have an update from Iranian state media where they say what they think about Trump's post, his Truth Social post, which I was just showing you. It says, Mer News Iran says, Trump confirmed the violation of the ceasefire with Iran. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, following the blatant violation of the ceasefire and the U.S. attack on areas in southern Iran, announced that American aircraft targeted several missile and drone storage sites of Iran, as well as the country's coastal radars. So Mer News is saying that this was, again, we've seen this several times from different Iranian news agencies. They say this was a blatant violation of the ceasefire by the U.S. But nothing yet on their response. That is what we're waiting for right now. I'm trying to think, we could do a poll question. I don't know what the poll question will be. Should we do... I have one. As I put Trump's post on the screen. Will the ceasefire collapse in the next 2 weeks? They're supposed to be negotiating a big deal right now. All right, I'm posting it right now. I just posted it on YouTube. Now I need to post it on Twitch. You know what I need to do is, you know what I'll put on the screen here? I'll put this on the screen. For those who didn't see it, here was the U.S. announcement about the additional U.S. strikes tonight from CENTCOM. Where is the... I'm going to post it on Twitch now. Okay, and then I got to post it on Facebook too. That's the last place I need to post it. I'm sorry we haven't had time yet to give some more on the earthquake. We will talk about the earthquake's aftermath once things settle down a little bit with the Iran updates. But I want to just get a bunch of breaking news on that, so I want to keep an eye on it. All right, let's see what you guys said about this. Here is, by the way, here's you guys thinking about it. Here's you guys thinking about it. Okay, now we need to put on the screen for you what you said. Wow, look at this on YouTube. 86% say yes on YouTube. Wow, that's a lot. You think the ceasefire is going to collapse in the next 2 weeks? On Facebook right now, it is 75% yes. And here is what is being said over on Twitch in response to this poll. Oh, hang on a moment here. On Twitch, 91%. This is higher than I thought it would be. Red Girl says next 2 hours. Destin D says take Karg. KJ Hayes says it's literally already collapsing. Christy Claff thinks it's already collapsed. George Perko says Iran does not negotiate, only manipulate. These Days of War says it's almost like people want it to go bad. Unauthorized Nostalgia says, when does the ceasefire start? Skizwind says, I'm confused what a ceasefire is. There has been fighting consistently since it was negotiated. Jason Robb says, what ceasefire? All right, thanks for voting in our poll. Dinho says, the question implicates there has been an effective ceasefire, which is hardly the case. From This I Know says, it's never going to last, so let's just get this over with. It's really going to be interesting to see. We have had 2 ships attacked, apparently by Iran. Large ships, a cargo ship and a full oil tanker, have been attacked in the last 3 days in the Strait of Hormuz. Is that going to continue? John White thinks Trump is fed up. Okay, give me a moment here. On Facebook, it was 80% yes. Now, see if we have any updates yet from Iran. Nothing yet. We're waiting to hear from Iran. They said that there's going to be details soon of the IRGC Navy fighters operation tonight against the American aggressors. Is Iran planning something possibly bigger? Yesterday, when the U.S. attacked Iran, Iran responded and said, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard said yesterday, in the event of repeated aggression, our response will be more extensive than this. They just said that yesterday. Danny G says not good. The Department of War Rapid Response posted Trump's post from Truth Social, and they posted 3 American flags over it. Bob says Trump said Iran's navy was wiped out. Well, I think Iran among its navy considers like the drones that they fire at ships to be part of its navy. Hey, thanks to Mike Brown for the Facebook stars. Thanks, Mike Brown. Oops, sorry. What is going to happen? I'm wondering. I am wondering. I don't know. I feel like people are maybe sleeping on this situation a little bit. We've had 2 ships attacked in 3 days in the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know that it's going to be some. It might be bigger than a little token response by Iran. I don't know. They said that they were going to escalate if this kept happening. So we'll have to see. As I said before, maybe they'll launch a missile tonight. We haven't seen missiles launched for a long time, right? Last night it was drones. Supermax Dan says Trump said Iran are desperate to make a deal. LMAO. I think it was Sparky who said, do a poll, will Trump wait until after the World Cup or not? World Cup, I have to look this up. I don't remember. The final is on, is that correct? July 19th? July 19th is the World Cup final. That's about 3.5 weeks away. Hey, thanks, Benny Hill. Thank you so much, Benny Hill. Also, Rome versus Assyria. Hold on a second here. Benny Hill quoted Leslie Nielsen from Airplane saying, I just want to tell you good luck. We're all counting on you. Thanks to Lidwine Elizabeth, who says, I don't think anyone wants war, but it's like constantly being in line for a horrible roller coaster. Keep hearing you're almost up and you know it's coming and you want to get out of the line, but can't. Thanks to Anox, who says the lousiest ceasefire ever. Here is a post from Tasnim state media in Iran commenting on Trump's post on True Social, which we showed you a little while ago. Tasnim state media Iran says, Trump confirmed the attack on targets in Iran by violating the ceasefire again. Donald Trump, the head of the terrorist U.S. government, once again confirmed the U.S. regime's aggressive attack on Iranian territory by violating the ceasefire. He claimed American aircraft just now bombed missile storage sites, Iranian drones, and also coastal radar sites. The head of the U.S. terrorist government justified this aggressive action by claiming it was in response to Iran's repeated ceasefire violation of the ceasefire agreement, which apparently Tasnim does not agree with. Jar Jar Jeff says they're just trolling us at this point. They literally don't have to do anything, says Jar Jar Jeff. These days of war, says the MOU, says Iran can arrange traffic through the strait. As we've discussed on previous streams, there's a passage which talks about, in the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, which talks about how the strait is going to be managed going forward, at least for the next 60 days. But it's ambiguous. You can read it different ways. In spite of the fact that I don't really want to do it again because we've done it multiple times, I will show it one more time. Hold on, let's see if I can pull it up here. Here it is on, oops, now I've messed everything up. Here it is on Wikipedia. Upon the signing of this Memorandum of Understanding, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vessels with no charge for 60 days, only from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and vice versa. That's through the Strait of Hormuz. So it says Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vessels. The traffic of commercial vessels will immediately start, and considering the need for removing the technical and military obstacles and demining by the Islamic Republic of Iran will be instated within 30 days. Iran will conduct dialogue with Oman to determine the future administration and maritime services in the Strait of Hormuz, in discussion with other Persian Gulf littoral states, coastal states, in line with the applicable international law and the sovereign rights of coastal states of the Strait of Hormuz. You can read that different ways. You can read it as saying Iran and Oman get to decide what to do with the strait. You can read it as saying, no, Iran and Oman are restricted by international law and they can't just do anything they want. So it's, to me, not clear, in my amateur opinion. Davina says, so they failed to mention that includes olive lanes. Well, look, Davina, as you point out, I mean, this section could have said the strait has to open with no restrictions whatsoever in any way on lanes or this or that, but it didn't say that. If it did say that, Iran might not have signed it. We talked about this when this was signed. A bunch of this is kind of vague, and maybe the only way to get both sides to sign it was to not be specific about things because they still didn't agree on things. Hey, thanks to John McTavish. John says he just finished a shift at RAF Akothiri. I guess it sounds like John may be serving in the Royal Air Force. I'm sure the people of the UK appreciate your service, John. John McTavish, thank you. Do we have anything new from Iran here? Hearing rumors about Bahrain. I just saw a claim online about Bahrain. One of our viewers claimed something about Bahrain. Unconfirmed reports of stuff going on with Bahrain. Hang on a moment here. Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there are unconfirmed reports online of explosions in Bahrain. Hang on here. I need. Hang on. Yeah, unconfirmed reports of explosions in Bahrain right now. News the Security Cabinet, who I follow, they say they're reporting it. Did Bahrain talk about it? Hold on. Nothing on Bahrain Ministry of Interior social media yet. So there's some unconfirmed reports on social media right now of explosions in Bahrain. Ali BK, who I follow, claims that there's air defenses in Bahrain. So again, unconfirmed reporting that of explosions and air defense in Bahrain right now. Oh, and the account I showed you, which I believe is a military spokesman in Iran account, just posted a thumbs up. But nothing from Bahrain yet about sirens going off there. Although there was no sirens this morning when Iran apparently launched drones at Bahrain. So again, there are unconfirmed reports right now. Unconfirmed of explosions and air defense in Bahrain in the Middle East. I'm checking. I'm checking for updates. I don't have a good sense of what's going on, guys. I haven't seen anything in Iranian state media. Put a map up, maybe. Okay, let's keep an eye on this. There's Bahrain, which is across the Persian Gulf from Iran. Unconfirmed reports of explosions in Bahrain. Again, not really. I don't have great sourcing on these reports about Bahrain, so I just don't know if that's really happening. I haven't heard of any missile launches. Still waiting to hear more. Nothing from Bahrain yet about sirens from their official account. Could the U.S. again be attacking the Could Iran again be attacking the U.S. naval base in Bahrain, which has been attacked many times during the war? According to the Wall Street Journal, as I mentioned to you guys yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that between late February and June, Iran repeatedly attacked naval support activity Bahrain, known as NSA Bahrain, the Navy's base in Bahrain. Could they be attacking it again? Excuse me. Yeah, the sourcing on this has not been great on the Bahrain reports. Breaking news! Breaking news! Sirens in Bahrain. Breaking news! Sirens in Bahrain. So it looks like Iran has launched something at Bahrain, maybe at U.S. targets there. Sirens in Bahrain now. The siren has been sounded. Citizens and residents are urged to remain calm and head to the nearest safe place. Okay. Let's see what. Oops, I'm sorry. I got to fix this. It says breaking news. I got to fix it. It's not more breaking news. Let me just fix this. Okay, we're back. Now, all right, so there's Bahrain on the map. Again, sirens are sounding in Bahrain, air defense sirens now. What is happening? We will wait and see. Air defense sirens going off in Bahrain now. It sounds like this is the Iran launching strikes at U.S. related target or targets in Bahrain in response for the U.S. attacks on Iran tonight. The time in Bahrain is oops, sorry. 2:52 a.m. 2:52 a.m. Let's get this on the screen here for you. I'm getting their post on the screen for you about the sirens. Please bear with me. Here, I'm putting it on the screen for you right now. You can see it says the sirens have been sounded. Citizens are urged to remain calm and head to the nearest safe place. It can be hard to get information when this is going on. But we did not hear sirens when Iran reportedly launched drones this morning at Bahrain. We did not hear sirens. But we're hearing sirens this time. No, we never have cams in Bahrain for stuff like this. They're very protective, and they don't want footage getting out usually about this stuff in Bahrain and other Gulf countries. Hey, a quick thanks to Bonnie Goodwin for your support. Thank you so much, Bonnie Goodwin. I really appreciate it. We're bringing you the latest updates here, guys. Again, we know sirens are sounding signs are sounding in Bahrain after after the U.S. launched strikes at Iran earlier tonight, after Iran attacked a second ship in 3 days in the Strait of Hormuz. I don't see any. I'm looking at a lot of different outlets and sources. I don't see any updates at the moment. Yes, the oil markets are closed until tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Oil markets closed. Stock market in the U.S. closed. We'll probably hear something soon from, oh, hey guys, Tasnim State Media. Now, they're not reporting this themselves. Iranian state media says news media reports indicate the Sheikh Issa Air Base in Bahrain has been targeted by a drone attack. Now, I don't know if this is true. Wikipedia says it hosts the Royal Bahraini Air Force. The U.S. has operated from the base before. In March 2009, I don't know if the U.S. is still actively there, but it is the main air base of the Royal Bahraini Air Force, according to Wikipedia says it hosts the Royal Bahraini Air Force. But maybe there's U.S. interest now there, right now there too. So again, but that's not Iran definitively saying that. It's Iranian state media saying news reports say this. What I'm going to do here is move this back. And we'll move this up a little bit so you can see it says Bahrain and Iran. So are they attacking? And now the air base that hold on here, that they said, Tasnim said news reports are saying is being attacked, is the Issa Air Base in Bahrain. There's Issa Air Base Road. Where's the base? Issa Air Base Beach. So there's Bahrain there. And it's on the eastern side of the country. Looking around here. Why can't I? Issa Air Base Beach. There's Issa Air Base Road, Issa Air Base Beach. I guess it's somewhere in this area. It's gotta be. Oh, there it is. Well, that looks like maybe an air base right there, next to Issa Air Base Road. So that might be it right there. But it's across the Persian Gulf from Iran. No official statement from Iran yet. So is this a drone attack by Iran on that base? We're waiting to see. Mona says, I think I may fill up her tank tonight, she's saying. Hard to say exactly what's going on right now. Shin, who I follow, claims explosions were heard in Bahrain. No official announcement yet from the Iranian government. Hey, thanks to Soulfly8. Soulfly8, thank you so much. Also, Stanislav Babenko. Hey, Stanislav, thanks so much for supporting the channel. We're bringing you live coverage. Sirens reported in Bahrain. Possible Iranian retaliation attack. But after U.S. attacks on Iran tonight, but we're waiting to get more. Hey, thanks very much to Sayunik. Sayunik, thanks so much for your support on Twitch. Bad Karma, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. Kendra Fox, thanks on Twitch for your support. Checking a lot of different sources, guys. The one and only thinks things are popping off. Where is, hold on a second here. There you can see there's Bahrain and there's Iran. Bahrain and Iran. Now, I'm sure eventually we'll get a statement from the Revolutionary Guard. We have not heard that yet. No, I do not have any live cams from Bahrain. I'm not aware of any live cams from Bahrain. They actively, I believe, prevent and discourage people and possibly criminalize, maybe, people posting war stuff about active war events going on in Bahrain on the internet. As soon as I have anything else, I will let you know. Waiting to hear more. Where is this? Nothing still. Who knows what's good? There could be a lot of drones there right now. There could be a lot of action in the sky of Bahrain. We just don't know. Hard to figure out what's going on. There's some unconfirmed claims online that there's some military vehicles driving around the green zone in Iraq. I cannot confirm that. But there's some unconfirmed reports of military vehicles in the green zone of Iraq. I was saying before the weekend, maybe it'll just be like a quiet weekend, but no. OSINT Technical said reports of Iraqi military forces moving into the green zone in Baghdad tonight with heavy armor. I don't know what's going on about that. So, oh, hold on. I think he deleted his post. But then he deleted his post. OSINT Technical had posted it, then deleted it. So maybe he's not too confident anymore. He has not reposted it that I can see. Nothing yet more from Iranian state media. Hold on. What's this? What's this? IRNA, Iranian state media, says some media report hearing explosion sounds in Bahrain. I'm sure the Iran really knows what's going on. Sometimes this happens with Iran, where the state media will post things like, news reports say that this is going on when it involves Iran, and you'll be like, well, no, you know more about that than you're saying. Oh, OSINT Technical posted it again. OSINT Technical said reports that Iraqi military forces are rolling into Baghdad's secure government quarter, the Green Zone, tonight with heavy armor. As to why, I have no idea. Now, some people are saying in the chat, claiming there's sirens in Kuwait. They don't post any kind of update. They don't post any kind of source. I haven't seen that reported anywhere yet. So I don't know why people in the chat are posting that without any kind of sourcing. Where are you hearing this? You need to post sources. Come on, guys. I follow a lot of sources. I haven't heard it at this point yet. Ali BK, who I follow, just posted that they're hearing something about it. So could there be some kind of launch at Kuwait too? Let's see. I haven't heard any kind of I haven't heard anything from Kuwait government about it. Usually Kuwait will post about it if there's sirens going off there. Oh, hold on a second. I'm seeing something here. Report Vahid Online, who I follow, says he has received images of a sirens in Kuwait. Okay, so there are unconfirmed reports online now. Breaking news. We have it right here. Kuwait sirens. Kuwait sirens. Here we go. Hold on, I'm going to show you right now. There it is. Kuwait Army. Sirens now in Kuwait. Kuwaiti air defenses are currently confronting hostile missile and drone attacks. If the general staff of the Army notes, if explosion sounds are heard, they are the result of air defense systems intercepting the hostile attacks. Everyone is kindly requested to adhere to the security and safety instructions issued by competent authorities. All right, give me a moment here. I need a moment. So this is happening. Let me grab this here. So again, we have sirens now reported in Bahrain and Kuwait. Sirens in Kuwait and Bahrain. Possible Iranian attacks. Now, let's get you some more updates here. So we have sirens in Kuwait and Bahrain reported. Kuwait says it is dealing with missile and drone attacks. Bear with me. I just want to update maybe the thumbnail and description here. Can you bear with me 2 seconds? Bear with me 2 seconds here because we've been focusing on Iran so much. I just want to do a quick update here. Let's do this. Let's do, and we will get you the latest updates. Let's do new fighting in Iran war. Breaking news coverage. New fighting has broken out in the Iran war. The U.S. has launched new strikes on Iran, and there are reports of possible Iranian attacks on Bahrain and Kuwait. Hang on. Just to have it up, let me give you a map of the region here. All right. Thanks for your patience. I need 2 seconds here just to update this. Where is this here? I'm just updating the title of the broadcast for a second on YouTube. Okay. Thanks for your patience. Let's try to get you some updates from the Middle East. Here is now, what are we seeing? Unconfirmed reports of explosion sounds in Kuwait, by the way. Tasnim, which is Iranian state media, claims that unofficial and unconfirmed reports indicate explosion sounds have been heard at the U.S. military base in Kuwait. What's most likely going on is that Iran is launching strikes in response and in retaliation for the U.S. strikes on Iran earlier tonight, and will say that it targeted U.S. related targets. Oh, breaking news. Hold on a second. We have a report. Vahid Online is hearing about projectiles launched towards the sea. Okay, so Vahid Online, who I follow, says several missiles were launched. It's either missiles or drones. I don't know what it is. Several missiles were launched towards the sea. Then also explosions in Bandar Abbas. All right, so Vahid Online, who I follow, who tends to be reliable about this stuff, he says that just in the last few minutes, this has happened. So unconfirmed reports of missiles launched towards the Strait of Hormuz from Bandar Abbas, Iran, and also explosions heard in Bandar Abbas. So again, Vahid, who I find reliable, he gets these reports from the region. He says that just in about 10 minutes ago or so, there were reports of he was getting from Iran of missiles launched into the sea, into the Strait of Hormuz, it would, I presume, from Bandar Abbas, and also explosions in Bandar Abbas. Could there be more U.S. strikes going on? I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see if that's happening. Hang on a moment here. Oh, hold on. I messed something up. I obviously, in my rush to post, I post Kuwait, not Kuwait. Sorry about that. When I changed the headline. So sirens in Kuwait reported drone or missile attacks there. There have been sirens reported in Bahrain. And it looks like, yeah, again, Kuwait says air defense systems are intercepting hostile targets. Vahid Online, who I follow, um, he said that he was getting reports of explosions in heard in Bandar Abbas, Iran, and missiles fired. All right, now hang on a moment here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up on the screen here, and I'll put the clock up here. Put the missile. We'll put the marine traffic, and we'll put the clock up. Maybe we'll zoom out a bit. Zoom in a little bit. You can actually see Bahrain in that shot there. Okay, now, what is going on? Unconfirmed reports of Ali BK, who I follow, has posted a video that he says are lights in the sky of Bahrain, projectiles there, maybe being intercepted. So this comes after earlier tonight the U.S. carried out strikes for a second straight day on Iranian targets in response to a second attack on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz by Iran within 3 days. Could there be stuff going on in the Strait of Hormuz right now? That's a whole other question that we haven't heard about yet. Give me one moment here. Hang on. Now hold on a moment. Tammuz Intel, who I follow, says reports of gunfire being heard inside the Iraqi green zone. Something possibly going on in Iraq too. I don't know if that's related or not. Bear with me for a moment, just checking a couple things here. Looking at a lot of different sources. Yeah, I gotta start timing people out for posting stuff that's not sourced and that doesn't seem to be true. If you gotta really post your sources, guys, in the chat. OSINT Technical says gunfire reported in the green zone of Iraq tonight as government-aligned SOF, backed by Iraqi army armor, moved to arrest several pro-Iranian politicians. That's what OSINT Technical says. GMI, who I follow, says there are reports that several pro-Iranian political officials have been arrested under a recent judicial order tied to corruption allegations. Nothing new from Iran, from Iranian state media about what's going on. Can be very difficult to figure out when there's stuff going on in the Gulf states, what's going on there. Now, I haven't heard any reports yet that Iran is firing missiles. If they fire missiles a lot of the time, you'll actually hear reports from Iran of people seeing missiles fired. So it might be just drones right now, but I'm not positive. And maybe when Vahid reported that he had heard about things being fired in, well, I don't know. He had said that somebody had reported some missiles fired from Bandar Abbas towards the water. But I don't know if that stuff that was ended up being directed towards Kuwait or what, or Bahrain. So you can see, let me just show you here, if we zoom out a little bit here. So here is Iran is up here on the northern coast. Here, this is all Iran here. And then Kuwait is up here at the northwestern end of the Persian Gulf. And Bahrain is right, hold on a second here. I got to zoom around. Right there, there's Bahrain. So again, this is Iran on the northern side of the Gulf and of the Strait of Hormuz. Bahrain is here and Kuwait is here. Jesse J says, I think Trump is done with peace talks. Now, Shin, this is unconfirmed. Shin, who I follow, posted an image that supposedly was a ballistic missile over Kuwait. It is unclear if Iran has launched any missiles as part of their attacks tonight. I was talking about this before, saying, will we see Iran escalate from their response to last night, where they launched some drones into Bahrain? Will we see them actually launch any missiles? It's unclear if they have launched missiles tonight. Nothing more yet. Give me 1 second here. Let me do this real quick. Let's do this. Let's put this right over here. Again, nothing official from Iranian media saying this is what we did. So looking to hear something about that. Earlier tonight, the U.S. launched strikes on Iran after it said Iran attacked a second ship in 3 days in the Strait of Hormuz earlier today. Oh, the IRGC normally will say stuff about this, but it might take a little while. As soon as I hear any more, guys, I will let you know. I am just checking a lot of different sources here, trying to get updates, including Iranian sources. And Iranian state media is just doing this thing now that they sometimes do. Before actually saying themselves what happened, they're talking about what's being reported by other media outlets. So I want to hear them report themselves what happened, what they say happened. Breaking news, I have a statement from the Revolutionary Guard. Breaking news, I have the statement right here. I'm going to put it on the screen for you right now. Statement from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. It's so big I can't even fit it. Here it is. I am putting it up right now. Breaking news. Missile and drone operations. Can I make it bigger for you? Yes, I can. Decisive missile and drone operations in response to U.S. aggression violating ships will be dealt with more forcefully than before. Iranian Revolutionary Guard. So, dear honorable people of Islamic Iran, your zealous sons in the naval and air forces during a joint missile and drone operation at 2 to 3 a.m. today, destroyed 8 important infrastructures, the child-killing U.S. Army at the Ali al-Salem base in Kuwait, and the 5th Naval Fleet in Port Salman, Bahrain, by launching ballistic missiles and drones at them, and decisively responded to the recent U.S. aggressions. The aggressor enemy, whose very nature is to break promises and treaties, attacked 5 coastal ports of Iran early this morning under the pretext of the Iranian Navy confronting the offending ship. According to the Memorandum of Understanding, Islamabad has arrangements to control traffic in the Strait of Hormuz with Iran, and from now on, violating ships will be dealt with more forcefully than in the past. Wow. And any potential enemy aggression under any pretext, even if the aggressions are against minor targets, as happened last night and tonight, will have a crushing response. The enemy should know violating the ceasefire is against Article 1 of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding and will result in a complete halt to the process. Breaking news. Hold on, I got to post this. Hang on. Give me a moment. Breaking news. Breaking news. So, what we just heard is Iranian Revolutionary Guard announces it attacked U.S. military targets at bases in Kuwait and bases in Kuwait and Bahrain with missiles and drones. They also say that any future ships that violate their rules, Iran's rules, for the Strait of Hormuz will be dealt more forcefully than in the past. Will be dealt with more forcefully than in the past. Sorry. Hang on. And also says any future U.S. aggressions will have a crushing response. Hang on. Okay, wow. You know, something that stands out to me in that announcement, is them saying that violating ships in the Strait of Hormuz will be dealt will be dealt with more forcefully than in the past. Remember, the last 2 nights, or no, 2 of the last 3 days, Iran has attacked 2 ships going through the Strait of Hormuz in 3 days. But in both cases, the ships were hit by a single drone reportedly, and the ships were not disabled. So, according to UKMTO, for example, UKMTO had said that sorry. They said that the ship hit this morning sustained damage to its bridge. All crew are reported safe. No environmental damage. That ship reportedly had 2 million barrels of oil on it. And also, the cargo ship that was hit on 2 days ago by Iran was hit by a drone and caused damage to the bridge. Again, no casualties, no environmental impact. So, I mean, it sounds like they're threatening that if the ships keep trying to go through the strait on this southern route that the U.S. wants them to go through, right, without coordinating with Iran and not doing it as Iran wants them to, whatever that means, that they're threatening to attack those ships more strongly. Remember, early in the war, the attacks on ships were more strong. There were a number, if I remember right, there were attacks that disabled ships. Okay, so I got to update the headline. Iran says it attacked U.S. targets in Kuwait and Bahrain with missiles, and I'm not going to fit all this. So, and then they threaten, again, let me read this again. They say, your zealous sons in the IRGC's naval and air forces during a joint missile and drone operation at 2 to 3 a.m. today, about an hour and a half ago or so, 2 hours ago, hour and a half ago. It's currently 4:21 there right now. They claim they destroyed 8 important infrastructures of the child-killing U.S. Army at the Ali al-Salem base in Kuwait and the 5th Naval Fleet Base in Port Salman, Bahrain, by launching ballistic missiles and drones at them, and decisively responded to the recent U.S. aggression. The aggressor army, whose very nature is to break promises and treaties, attacked 5 coastal ports of Iran early this morning, that's just a few hours ago, under the pretext of the IRGC Navy confronting the offending ship. According to the Memorandum of Understanding, they say, Pakistan, Islamabad has arrangements to control traffic in the Strait of Hormuz with Iran. And from now on, violating ships, the ships that are trying to go through the strait in a way that Iran has not agreed to, will be dealt with more forcefully than in the past. And any potential enemy aggression under any pretext, even if the aggressions are against minor targets, as happened last night and tonight, will have a crushing response. And they also said the enemy should know that violating the ceasefire is against Article 1 of the Memorandum of Understanding and will lead to a complete halt of the processes. So they're also threatening to stop negotiating with the U.S., to end the negotiations with the U.S. That's something else they're doing. All right, let me read some comments here from people. Hang on. Oops. Oh, hold on a moment. Hold on. I need a second. Let me do this real quick. Hang on. I got to do this real quick. Give me a second. Give me a moment. Thanks for your patience. Let me just fix this so I can have everything the way it should be displayed. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here. So I can see something. Okay, here is what they posted here. So you can see that. Now, let me check on a couple things here. But yeah, I mean, again, they've already attacked 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz in 3 days. Now they're saying they're going to, those attacks are going to be more forceful on those ships. So I'm just checking for updates here. Is President Trump going to post again? We'll have to see. All right, so I'll keep an eye on that. So President Trump hasn't responded to this. President Trump had a threatening post about Iran earlier tonight, where he said, Trump said, after the U.S. attacked Iran tonight, Trump said, U.S. aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement. Again, it's very possible they will never learn. There may be a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. President DJT. But then after that, Iran apparently attacked U.S. interests in both Kuwait and Bahrain. Naughty Boy says Trump will have a colorful response. Fantasy says Trump always bombs on the weekend when the markets are closed. Is there any chance, stay with me here, is there any chance that we could get a very, very threatening post from Trump tonight or tomorrow morning, and then before the markets open on Monday or before the oil markets open at 6 p.m. on Sunday, he says something like, oh, they are now saying they want to negotiate. So the attack is off. I'm just throwing that out there. Some of our viewers think that could happen. Again, there are some reports tonight claiming that there is military vehicles in Baghdad with U.S. arresting, or sorry, as Iraqi forces are arresting pro-Iran politicians. I don't know if that's true necessarily, but I've seen it a bunch of places. OSINT Technical is posting about it. So I'll wait. Oh, do we have, hey guys, CENTCOM released some new footage. Look, CENTCOM posted footage of their attacks on Iran earlier tonight. They did something similar last night. See, U.S. Navy and Air Force fighter jets conducted strikes tonight on 10 Iranian military targets at multiple locations in and near the Strait of Hormuz in response to Iran's drone attack on the oil tanker MT Kiku. That's from earlier. That's before the Iranian attacks, the Iranian missile and drone attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain. Rita says, same old pics. Uh-oh, what did I do? Okay. Hey, thanks to Sherry Zylag. Sherry says the Trump message you spoke of needs to stop. I get diplomacy, but BS is BS. Thank you all. Thank you, Sherry. Thanks, Lidwine Elizabeth, who says, but quite some ships did pass before. Makes you wonder why it was an issue for certain ships. Yeah, so look, for I believe around a couple weeks now, a bunch of ships have been passing through the strait without Iran attacking them. So it's a good question as to why all of a sudden in the last 3 days has Iran attacked 2 ships. I don't know if they changed their policy or if ships are doing something that they did in a way they didn't do it before. I have no idea. But 2 ships in 3 days have been attacked by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. It's a good question, Lidwine. Thanks, Ken Lance, for your support. LK Ghost, our member, thank you. Holland 3G1, our member. Also, Johannes Kreikhammer for subscribing. Thank you so much, Johannes, for being a 5-month subscriber. Thank you, Rain25, for subscribing. Thanks, Rain. And Andy and Austin for your support. All right. I don't know how Trump is going to respond to this, but it'll be a big deal if Iran attacks another ship. I mean, we've had 2 in 3 days. If they keep attacking ships in the strait, that's even if, I mean, they say that their attacks are going to be more forceful. They say violating ships will be more forcefully dealt with than in the past. But even if they keep just firing drones at the bridges of ships, that's a huge deal. So one huge thing to watch for is, do we hear more about ships being attacked in the Strait of Hormuz? And remember, Iran was being allowed to sell its oil under this agreement, but Iran clearly is trying to assert control over the strait. Lyle Paradise said they attacked because that is what terrorists do. Peter's Game Channel says they're not united. Everybody wants their cake over there. Well, there's this whole lot. It's an interesting question. The people who negotiated the memorandum of understanding, do they represent all the people in power in Iran or not? Are there elements in Iran who want to keep attacking ships? Maybe in the military, I don't know. AD ISO thinks those ships did not pay a toll. Are some ships still paying a toll? That I don't know. They're not supposed to be, but who knows? Sandy Dago says Trump better tweet another tweet before oil goes live again. The price is going to go up. Well, oil's market opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Sunday. Now, is there going to be any kind of, I don't know that there was no official U.S. response to Iran firing drones early this morning at Bahrain, reportedly at a U.S. base. We didn't hear any, I don't think we heard any U.S. response to that. I don't know if there's going to be an official U.S. response to these strikes and these threatening words from Iran tonight after the U.S. attacks. Wow. Q West thinks that they are attacking Western ships not paying tolls. Vincero says Iran is just going to play Trump until they get all they want. But I thought it was a big deal just when we heard about this morning about the second ship in 3 days being attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM said the ship that was attacked this morning was a tanker that had about 2 million barrels of oil on it. More than 2 million barrels of crude oil. At 4:30 a.m. was attacked with a drone, the MT Kiku. Crazy. Things are crazy. Bad Toastery says Iran is never going to willingly give up the strait. It's their only leverage in all of this. Snarf thinks the USA will never leave. Wendy says, are we ever going to see gas prices come down? Well, I mean, they've come down a bunch so far. There's a ways to go, but I mean, oil prices have dropped. I don't know what they're going to do tomorrow at 6 p.m. Here, if we look here is the, hold on, I'll show you. This is the Brent crude. Here's the 6-month chart on Brent crude, okay? So you can, I mean, it's close to where it was before the war. Brent crude was about, there was, back in what, January, it was about 60 or so. Then it got up to about 70 or so, but right before the war started. Then after the war started, it got up to, I think at one point, maybe even 120 or so, Brent crude. And now it's at 73.61. I don't believe gas has fully dropped as much as the oil price has, although maybe that's a natural thing that it gets delayed. I'm not sure. It can take a while for it to be reflected, the oil price and the gas price. But anyways, the point is a lot of the oil price rise has gone, but at least for now,
Okay.
that's from tradingview.com, by the way. Vibe Trading thinks Trump will post again tonight 100%. Dan Cruz thinks gas will go up again soon. Let's see if I can get you more reporting about this. Hold on a second here. This is the point where I'm like, are they done for the night or not? I don't know. At least with Iran. Try to get you some updates about what's going on in Iraq too. What is this? Hang on. I just saw something. Where is this coming from? Hang on. Hang on. Where is this? Give me one quick moment. I think there might be a new post from the Iranian Navy trying to verify this here. Okay. Bear with me. Sorry, hang on one more moment here. Hang on one more moment. Why is this doing this? I am seeing an unconfirmed post from the Iranian Navy. Oh, I got it. I have it. It's confirmed. All right. This is from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. Here it is. A post from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. Commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy says America's blind shots at Sirik, one of the targets attacked in Iran tonight, or the area of the target, some of the targets attacked the last couple of times by the last couple of days, a number of targets have been attacked in Sirik, among other places in Iran. America's blind shots at Sirik will not resolve our dominance over the Strait of Hormuz. But our shots at violators will remind the rest of the vessels of the clear passage route. Remember, the two ships that were attacked in the last 3 days, I believe, were taking the southern route. which is what the U.S. wants the ships to take, which is closer to Oman. Iran wants the ships to take the northern route, I believe through Iran's territorial waters. So they say our shots at violators will remind the rest of the vessels of the clear passage route. The reckoning for the American bases in the region is a separate matter. They will experience hell in the coming days. That's from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy. Are any of the bases manned? Orange says, Orange Mangoon. I don't know. They fired tonight at the naval base, I believe, in Bahrain, which, according to Wall Street Journal, has been attacked numerous times since the war started. They had said tonight that they attacked the 5th Naval Fleet base in Port Salman, Bahrain. Again, I believe the Wall Street Journal they came out with a report in the last couple of days saying that's been attacked numerous times and that most of the people had been moved off of that base. Yeah. Hang on. I'm having a bit of an issue here. Let me do this. Try to get you some more updates here. Bond 007, our viewer, thinks it's time for the U.S. to take some bridges and infrastructure out and send a message. Bridges and oil infrastructure. Davina says you can't make this stuff up. HMN says every time people stand up to Trump and his threats, Trump folds. Will this be different this time? Wow. No, the sirens in Bahrain and Kuwait were before. I'm not aware of any new sirens. Flyboy, our viewer, says Iran really wants to make a deal. Hey, thanks. It's more fun to compute. Who says on Hyperliquid you could see Brent and WTI futures. So thank you. It's more fun to compute. So I've heard of this kind of thing before. I am not an expert on this stuff, but as far as I'm aware and I don't want to start doing a big research project right now, but as far as I'm aware, there is no super reliable off hours market that you can look at for a reliable picture about the oil markets. That's my understanding. So maybe I'm wrong about this, but I know that there might be some other markets off hours where some people trade some sort of oil futures, but I'm not aware that any of them is seen as very reliable. So I'm not going to go down that road, but I appreciate you mentioning it. Now people are arguing about it in the chat. So I'll let you argue about it, but I don't have good sourcing that there's a super reliable proxy for the market being open. So I'm going to hold off on quoting that stuff. Feel free, if there's some kind of well-sourced evidence that I'm wrong about that, send it to me and I'll check it out. Some of our viewers claim it's reliable. Our viewer Frosty Dog says it's not reliable. There's next to no liquidity. I trade futures. It's kind of like after hours gambling to get their fix in. That's what Frosty Dog says. But again, it's not my field. But I've looked into it previously and I have not found anything that I found great evidence for being reliable. Hang on, I'm just checking a couple things here. I am checking a couple of things here. Rocky Boba says, trust the kids. Hyperliquid. Again, if you have some kind of well-sourced argument for why it's reliable, feel free to send it to me and I'll check it out. Uh-oh, that went down. All right. Who knows? So just to sum up what's been happening, or maybe I can find a little thing summing it up. Hang on. Maybe I can get you a little sum up here. Why is this not signed in? Let's see. Give me a quick moment. Hang on. I need to sign in here. Oh, thanks, by the way, to Kimberly A. Fetishol for the Facebook stars. It's very nice of you, Kimberly. Thank you. Now, where is there? Let me show you a little. The Washington Post says the U.S. military today launched a fresh round of airstrikes against targets in Iran hours after officials there said they were targeting U.S. interests in the Middle East. But then after that, Iran launched strikes again. The clashes marked the latest threat to a ceasefire and ongoing talks toward a broader peace. This is the third straight day that hostilities have erupted over the Strait of Hormuz, says the Washington Post. A memorandum of understanding that the two sides signed calls for ensuring safe passage through the strait, but Washington and Iran differ over whether Iran can control which vessels can cross and when. Oh, let's see. By the way, so remember, before tonight, when Iran says it launched drones and missiles at U.S. targets in Kuwait and Bahrain, early this morning, Iran apparently launched missiles at Bahrain. Bahrain said not missiles, drones. Iran apparently fired drones at a U.S. base in Bahrain early this morning. And Washington Post says a U.S. official said two one-way attack drones were detected approaching the U.S. Navy base in Bahrain earlier today. One was shot down while another landed harmlessly in a remote airfield area. But Fox News' Jennifer Griffin said earlier tonight that a U.S. defense official told her that early today, Iran launched, what was it, 9? Is it still posted here? Where is it? Where are her posts? I know I reposted her posts. Yes. A U.S. official told Jennifer Griffin that early this morning, Iran launched 9 one-way attack drones at a U.S. base in Bahrain. Also, Jennifer Griffin of Fox News said, I asked a senior defense official why the U.S. had to go back and restrike these sites that have been hit multiple times since February 28th when the war began. She says, I was told that Iran has reconstituted its air defense and missile systems along the Strait of Hormuz since the U.S. bombing campaign ended on April 7th. That, the source said, is why the U.S. military is having to restrike areas like Keshem Island and Sirik, which they had struck in the past. Jar Jar Jeff says, how could they already have them rebuilt? The peaceful bombs must not do much damage. Casey Mann thinks it's all over for tonight's war. Look, the next thing that could happen, the next big thing that could happen is there could be another ship attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. That's the next thing I'm looking for. Both of the last exchanges have started when a ship was attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, apparently by Iran. And then the U.S. launches strikes at Iran, and then Iran fires back. That's what happens. That's what's happened 2 straight times. Old School Gaming thinks something's coming tonight. Moki Wabi says, what would happen if the ceasefire ended? Well, I don't know. I assume Iran would have tried to keep asserting control over the Strait of Hormuz. So is the U.S. going to just let them do it or not let them do it? I don't know. Robert Carlson says, I think Trump needs to put his foot down and say enough is enough. No, it's not that they'll allow any ship to pass through there. It's that they want to apparently collect. One thing they want to do apparently is to collect fees from ships going through there. But who knows what they'll do? The U.S., President Trump has said that they're not going to have, that the Strait of Hormuz will be open. Chris M. thinks Trump won't do anything. Oh, what is this here? Hold on. What was I just looking at here? Hold on. By the way, we don't even know. Remember this. The whole other thing that's a source of friction between Israel and between Iran and the U.S. is Israel's activities in Lebanon. The Wall Street Journal says Iran's Assembly of Experts, which tends to reflect the view of the supreme leader, told the country's negotiators today that the Strait of Hormuz should be closed if Israel doesn't stop operations in Lebanon. So we've seen U.S. and Iran friction over Israel, continuing to do operations in Lebanon against Iran-supported Hezbollah, which Iran has said that they want. I believe the Iranian position is that they want Israel to leave Lebanon. But we've also had the last couple days these attacks, this back and forth strikes between the U.S. and Iran, not over Lebanon, but over the Strait of Hormuz. So those are 2 big sources of friction. Iran wants Israel out of Lebanon. Israel does not want to leave Lebanon. in southern Lebanon because they say that they're fighting against Hezbollah, which Iran supports, to protect Israel. Additionally, Iran wants to control the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. does not want them to control the Strait of Hormuz. So either of those issues is enough to cause fighting between them. And neither of those issues is settled. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Hold on a moment here. Hang on. Here we go. Our viewer Lucky Luciano thinks without a ground invasion, you cannot get the job done. That's what Lucky thinks. All right, here's what I think we're going to do. So maybe it might be that the back and forth is over for the night. I don't know. I'll give it a couple minutes and see if we get any more updates here. I just can't tell. Yeah, I don't even know. I really need to eat. I haven't even eaten. I hadn't eaten when I came on the air, and I wasn't expecting this to pop up. So I'm going to have to eat something. So, yeah, I think the thing to do. So the earthquake stuff, I would like to do some more earthquake coverage, but I don't have like big breaking developments right now, and I have to eat something. And my thought is that maybe what I'll do is wrap up this stream, and if there's some huge development tonight, I can do another stream. Otherwise, perhaps I'll do a stream tomorrow. But I'm going to do that, I think. I'm sorry. Originally, we came on to cover some of the Iran stuff and some of the earthquake stuff. It's just all of this Iran stuff started happening. So that kind of took over the stream. So I do apologize, but I think it's the time. No, the stuff in Iraq I'm hearing is there's some military activity in the green zone. I've heard some unconfirmed reports that some pro-Iranian politicians are being arrested. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't have a lot of good information on that right now. So let me do that. Because I'm not going to leave it on while I eat because I don't necessarily know what I'd come back to report on. But we might do a whole other earthquake update stream in the future. Maybe we'll be on tomorrow talking about it. But for now, I think the thing to do is wrap up this stream. So I really appreciate you guys being here for our coverage. Again, if there's huge developments tonight, we can come on and do another stream. Subscribe, follow the channel, Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda, Agenda Free TV. And also, I would suggest turn on our notifications. I just like tonight, I never know when big news is going to happen, but you can send a notification whenever we go live through our free Discord notifications. They work awesome. You sign up once, you get notification every time we go live beforehand. So sign up for those. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat. You can find the sign up link in the description of this video on YouTube and Facebook as well. So I would suggest signing up for that. And also, one other thing I want to mention is I will be posting updates on my X account, which is at Lookner on X, tonight if I see stuff. So you can follow me over there at Lookner on X for updates. And again, I'm very sorry that I was anticipating doing like a double coverage stream where we, talk a bunch about the earthquake. It just, all this stuff started developing with Iran and them firing at Kuwait and Bahrain and all that. So, it ended up just kind of being what we needed to cover. But I would like to do some more earthquake coverage, maybe tomorrow. It's terrible there. But for now, I got to take a break and get some food. But maybe more soon to come. And I'll keep looking at things tonight and see what's happening. And also, I mean, something else I'll be looking at is, are any more ships attacked in the Strait of Hormuz? That's a really big thing to look for. Really big. If you see another ship is attacked, another tanker is attacked in the Strait of Hormuz or cargo ship, that's a big deal. Because it seems like the U.S. is going to respond to that if that happens. And Iran has said that if there's more U.S. aggression, they're going to get even more escalated in their responses. But I very much appreciate people tuning into the stream. We got to read a bunch of comments tonight, which I like to be able to do. And thanks to Wright for writing in and sending me updates that you are seeing as well. I do want to, hold on a second here. What is happening here? Oh, I see. I do want to thank our moderators so much for being here. You guys are awesome. They're the reason that we can have chat rooms. They're the ones keeping it civil and respectful in there. Like Ruth and Bite Mode and Haley Girl and all of our other YouTube moderators. Huge thank you. Our Twitch moderators like Big Ball of Yarn, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah Surly Dev, and other moderators on Twitch. Huge thanks. Linda Bell, Clary, Mishra, moderate for us at LNX. Thank you so much. And Kimberly mentioned something about a date on the Iran statement that might have been wrong. So I know sometimes the translations with the dates get messed up. If there was a statement I showed, it showed the wrong day, but it was from today. Also, I think there's a Persian calendar. So, anyways, if at some point you saw an incorrect date, I am confident that the statements I read were coming out today. But once in a while, there's a weird thing with the translation of the date, or it's like a Persian calendar date or something. So, anyways, thanks for messaging me about that, Kimberly. Thanks to Kay Lowry, Body, Paul Anderson, moderating over on Facebook. Michael Fergal, thank you for moderating over there, and all of our other Facebook moderators too. Thank you. And thanks for supporting the channel. Everybody supported the channel. I owe some thank yous to people. Sorry. bhunt0207 ... who says, give Iran an ultimatum. For every ship they attack, we seize an Iranian tanker on the open seas. That's what bhunt0207 thinks. Hey, thanks, B, for your support. Also, again, it's more fun to compute in Jiggle Jess. Thank you. Batman WX, thanks for being a member. And Ma Florida, thanks for subscribing on Twitch. And everybody I thanked earlier, like 86 and Louis R. and others. Thank you. By the way, another way to get to find out when we're live, if you're on X, a good way to find out when we're live is follow us on X at Agenda Free TV. I post updates about the channel there too, but I post when we're going on the air, giving you a heads up. at Agenda Free TV. We do have a chat where you can chat with other viewers when we're not on the air, our Discord chat. It's free. Check it out. A bunch of our viewers like doing the Discord chat. It's the same link as the free notifications link. Big thanks to our Discord moderators who help out with the Discord chat too. Thanks, Discord moderators. Also, if you watch on YouTube, I would suggest turn on the YouTube notifications. That can help you find out when we're on the air. To do that, subscribe to the channel and click the bell and choose all notifications. If you're already subscribed, make sure you click the bell and choose all notifications. If you want notifications on your phone through YouTube, you got to go into the YouTube app. I had to do this the other day. And you have to make sure that the YouTube app settings are correct too. So you might want to check if you want them on your phone and they're not showing up on your phone. You might want to go check out your YouTube app settings on your phone and make sure everything's set up correctly there. Bob Cylon, our viewer, thinks this is a nothing burger. That's what Bob thinks. Bob thinks it's a nothing burger. GT4 Life Forever thinks Iran has been panicked due to the crashing oil price, and that is what this is about. Let's see here. Oh, I did want to thank also all of our Facebook subscribers who support the channel, like Dolly Clark and Michael Clayton and Diane Allworth and Kay Lowry Body and all of our other subscribers over there on Facebook. And also our Twitch subscribers. Sorry I didn't get to the subscribers earlier. Thanks so much. Hugh J, CC, Wall Street Shaggy, Kendra Fox, Seed Music, Jack's Animals, I Got That Fire, Justin D. Winters, CC, Brand Nubian, Dowfeem, and all of our other Twitch subscribers, Kendra Fox. Thank you. Twitch subscribers and our YouTube members. Shout out to you. Bond007, Least Trustworthy Weasel, Marisol Del Valle, Evelyn in Maine, Eric Johnson, Ken Lance, Jeff Buddington, So East, MN Mark, Roger Shoemaker, Lolly Lollipop, Michael Avery, Gigi's Kitties, David Joe Klontz, Jeff Buddington. Also, others watching the channel, thanks so much. People like John U8N over there on YouTube. David Heimer, thank you. Thanks, David. David, I wish I had the time. I do. Crappy J, Justin King, Sarcasm BTC, thank you. And KK, thanks for thanking the mods over on YouTube. Wu King says the problem is Iran always wants to shoot last so they can say we gave up. Oh, give me, hold on. I need one more second here. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Hold on. Let's see here. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Dan Cruz, thanks for watching. Los Gatos de Wilson, thanks for watching. Phil Up, thanks for watching. Audrey Burbank, thanks for watching. Melissa Terry, Terry L. Gonda, Romy Na. Andrea Holder was modding too, thank you. All right, I got to wrap it up. Let me just do a quick check. I'm not seeing a lot of big updates at the moment, guys. Let me just see what's here. Iranian state media is posting about the World Cup now. So I'm not seeing big updates there. I'll keep an eye on things. And and again, I greatly apologize. We ended up focusing on the war in Iran and the fighting instead of the earthquake. So I'm sorry about that. I just didn't realize all this was going to develop when we came on the air. Okay, so that is it for now. It's very possible we'll do some more earthquake coverage in the next day or two. And I'll keep an eye on other news developments. So that is it for now. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the new fighting in the war in Iran. And we will see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.